What's up, y'all? It's your man ES the Herman Star back again with another video, and I'm here to do the general read for the sign of Taurus. So if you have Taurus in your chart, Sun, Moon, or Horizon, this is for you. What's going on, my moon babies? Hopefully y'all are doing well. Hopefully we get a nice, great message for y'all. I feel like, the last times I was reading for Taurus, or I had downloads, I would say, for Taurus, they were, I wouldn't say the best, well, I wouldn't say the worst, but they weren't like, I guess, super positive. But let's see how this one is. And by the way, I'm at the location of where I recorded my first ever tarot read for YouTube. And that was for the sign of Virgo. That was 2 years ago at this point. So, yeah, I'm going to frequent this spot from time to time. Let's see what else jumps out. A lot of Wands energy here with these two cards. All right. We'll pull more as needed if needed. We'll probably pull more. But we start off with the Nine of Wands here. This is someone who is very much resilient as well. I'm thinking that this is a Taurus who probably just got out of a relationship, or you're in the process of getting out of a relationship and you're trying to move on and move forward, and pretty much stand out, get back to yourself, essentially, right? Because I feel as though that you lost yourself within this relationship, or at least however long you've been together, your focus was on the relationship rather than your highest good. Now, there's nothing wrong with focusing on a relationship, but a problem that a lot of people, not just Tauruses, but a lot of people run into when they get into these romantic relationships is they start to lose themselves within the relationship, like lose their sense of individuality, and they start to focus primarily on the relationship, right? And then, you add the Taurus element to it, since it's you all are very much, I don't mean this as an insult, but y'all are very idealistic people, meaning that you all love to fantasize about, your life, right? You also love to create, those fantasies into reality as well. And maybe you did a lot of fantasizing, romanticizing, I would even say, within this relationship, right? And which is great, but you forgot one important element of said relationship: yourself. You seem as though, from what I'm seeing here, we'll pull more cards to see what's what, but it seems as though you forgot yourself in a way. And, maybe at times you needed to defend yourself and you didn't, right? Because it was all for the stability of the relationship. You kept your mouth shut when maybe you shouldn't have, right? You let things slide that you normally wouldn't slide or wouldn't let slide, all for the stability of this relationship. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because you have the Four of Wands in reverse. When it's upright, this is definitely like a happy home, happy marriage, even happy unionship. So reverse is the opposite of that, right? And to be more clear, it's the card of feeling unwelcome, like you're not even valued. So you may have been pouring your heart out, pouring so much into this relationship, and still not being appreciated for what you were doing for the relationship. Unfortunately, these things happen. But I think, again, with that Nine of Wands that showed up beforehand, if you have the courage to just say enough is enough and I'm going to move forward from it, it might be heartbreaking. It might hurt. but it's for your highest good, because you do have the star card here. And as I was saying, like you see, she is pouring into a lake, right? And, she is pouring into herself now. You may have been, again, in the past, pouring more into the relationship rather than yourself. We honestly, I feel as though that was the message you needed to hear. But anything else you would like to tell Taurus at this moment in time, especially regarding this relationship? Okay, we have 2 cards that came out. The first one is the 8 of Swords. Yeah, I mean, technically, like, and again, I'm not trying to victim blame anything, but it's like you fell into the typical Taurus trap where you fell victim to your own fantasies, your own vices, your own, pretty much like your own you fell victim to your own fantasies. I'll put it that way. Now, the 8 of Swords in reverse is someone who comes out of that. They take control of their life. They have strong belief within themselves to go forward, to face fears. They realize what entrapment that they were in. They realize their hand in their own pretty much imprisonment. And then they decide, okay, it's time to move forward. Which is great to see that. And it's also great to see following that is Ace of Wands. A lot of Wands energy here, like I said. And I was just speaking about your first 2 cards, but, predominantly Wands cards in this read so far for you. This is someone who's very much creative, someone who takes the initiative as well to achieve goals, achieve things that they want in their life. So overall, I do love this energy for you. I do love seeing that this is something that you're going to, or could possibly move forward from, all about your decisions at the end of the day, of course, Taurus. With that being said, let's see if we can get at least one more card. Any final message for the sign of Taurus? Any final message, God, Spirit, for the sign of Taurus? I'm going to shuffle one more time. I'm just going to pick from the top. So the final message, or at least as far as the tarot goes, is we have the High Priestess in reverse. This is someone who could be emotionally manipulative in a way, like emotionally like withdrawn. Superficial too. This could be a warning, as for you to watch out for signs like this. Maybe you had a partner who was like this, very much reserved emotionally, and again, you kept trying to make things work within a relationship because you really wanted things to work with this emotionally emotionally repressed individual. And they didn't work out because obviously, that's not what the other person wanted to happen. Or I won't say obviously, but at least from what it looks like here, if the High Priestess in reverse is describing your partner, and then that is someone who, again, was emotionally unavailable, essentially, right? Hiding their feelings as well. So they had feelings, but weren't necessarily being honest about them. Probably negative feelings, probably toying around, things of that nature. They had emotions, but they didn't necessarily share them with you, right? Because of their own motives as to why they weren't sharing those emotions with you. You might not ever get the answers. Don't dwell on it. The rest of the reading prior to that is telling you to move forward and find the courage to move forward, move on, shine, and really it's a getting back to you, focusing on you type of energy that I'm getting here. Or at least that's the advice that I would give you in a situation like this. If you were to, if we were face to face, or if you reached out via email for a personal read. But this is the general read. But yeah, that's what we have here for you as far as the tarot goes. We're about to get into an oracle card now. But before I choose one, I would like to remind you to please hit that like, comment how this is relative to you, or if you just want to say hi, leave a heart. That's greatly appreciated as well. Share this video with any Taurus or anybody out there you feel needs to hear this message. And subscribe if you're not subscribed as well. Appreciate those who've been doing all of that. All right. I like this. Open to receive. I love this message for you. Invite abundance with open arms. Embrace the blessings waiting to flow into your life. Yeah. Excuse me. All this is going to happen once you start to focus on yourself. I think this is a period where you need to focus, or at least, that's the message you're going to get for the remainder of this month in January. It's for you to focus on yourself. Next month, when I do your read again, then we'll see what that message entails. Maybe it'll branch off of this. But definitely, all of this abundance that is meant for you, all this stardom, once again, that is meant for you, it can't happen if you're focused too much on a relationship or just your relationships in general. It's not to say to abandon people. That's not to say to go solo. It's to simply just say that you are an important part of those relationships too. And your wants, your needs, your desires should be not only respected, but you need to focus on making sure that you're good as well. You're happy within these relationships and you're just good in life in general. All right, even outside of the relationship, like your whole dedication, no matter the magnitude of the relationship, should not be based on that relationship, right? And that's what I have to say. That's what I have to say to you today. That's what I have for the sign of Taurus. Once again, if you got anything of value, please hit that like, leave a comment, share, and subscribe as well. I would like to thank you for trusting me for being your intuitive reader for today, or at least one of your intuitive readers for today. Until next time, until next read, you'll see me when you see me. Take care.